Honda next year. And to be fair, Honda seem to have found their feet. Um, so I think Toro Rosso won't be as bad as McLaren were. But he'll come back in a underpowered car, and he's there purely because of how terrible Kvyat is. And I don't see why you would go from a sport where you are a world champion and you're at the top of your game. I mean, okay, he's without a works ride next year, which I suppose is part of the reason. But I could see him transitioning into maybe American Le Mans or getting another WEC drive. I don't know if he's serious about being in F1 because I think it's too late in his career, and Red Bull are certainly not the team to come in with.
Yeah.
They're absolutely not the team to come in with because we know now they've locked Verstappen down till 2020. Rumour is Ricciardo's on his way out. We'll talk about that in the race. But that seat comes up, and it's Gasly's or it's Sainz's. Presumably Sainz, actually.
Yeah, because they won't let him go to Renault, will they?
No, I mean, if they were going to let him go, they would have let him go. It's a loan deal for 1 season, and they told him, we're going to call you back if we need you. Now, given that Sainz beat Hulk in FP1 pretty convincingly, and I know practice is practice and everything, can I just say this car feels fantastic on drives? My setup is erotic.
You've got a prickly hearse.
Pure filth. It's under the counter on the Hamburg Reaper barn filth. It's just so sharp, Simon, really. It goes where I point it. It's bizarre. I've never had a car feel this good. I nearly took that corner flat. That's how good it was. So let's assume, take the ball out. Good to get it out of the way early. Let's assume that Ricciardo goes wherever people think he's going.
Ferrari.
For 2019. Then I think you're going to have Sainz back in there. That means Verstappen is there at least one more season, and then I guess you'll be looking at a Sainz Gasly lineup, because I'm pretty sure Verstappen will be out of there after 2020 unless they're winning championships. I see him having like a Vettel career. He'll stay there until they've given him what he wants, and then he'll be off. Cheers, lads. Bye. Made a stupid mistake there and lost a lot of time, but
that was the weirdest entry to turn on. Never mind. But yeah, I know. I agree, and so I think Ricciardo will probably tread the Ferrari route potentially, depending if Vettel is still there, and they're quite happy to have the two together again. Vettel's been quite vocal in rubbishing Ricciardo and saying that he didn't really notice that he was there at the team when he was and that kind of stuff. But
to be fair, though, I believe I read somewhere that Vettel actually has a clause in his contract that prevents them signing Ricciardo.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which I didn't hear about until now, but apparently Vettel wants nothing to do with him. I had to cut that corner there because of a rogue Verstappen.
Shock.
So, Andrew Benson again, I believe it was Andrew Benson, was hypothesising that Ricciardo to Mercedes.
Ooh.
Because he believes, as does Martin Brundle, that Verstappen has signed because he's got first driver.
Yeah.
Now, why they would give that to him when Ricciardo hasn't put a foot wrong, I don't know. Thanks for that, Max. Yeah, that's that lap fucked. You lose so much time. I'll come in and change my tyres. Try again. I think I can push for a top 3, definitely. I just need a clean lap without traffic getting in my way.
Juicy.
Let's be honest. Danny Rick hasn't really put a foot wrong in his entire career at Red Bull. Like, can you think of any times really that he's had a slump or had a stupid accident?
Not that I can think of. No.
Like, usually when something stupid happens, it's either his teammates hit him or his gearbox has exploded. Like, I've never seen him, like, Merrick's in it.
No,
He's never just binned it.
not that I can think of. A couple of times at Toro Rosso, when he got given the Red Bull seat, there was a few crashes, and that was about it. But no, I'm a big Danny Rick fan, because I think he knows where the limit is and that he'll push up to it and not beyond, and that's something that Verstappen pushes beyond. And yeah, that might get him that extra last tenth here and there, but as a consequence, you also get some really stupid things happen at the same time. But Red Bull for the glory, and the press glory that Verstappen gets as opposed to Danny Rick. It's almost like if you are constantly at 100% for 5 seasons, people get bored of it. We saw it with Schumacher, we saw it with Vettel, and so on and so forth. It's just that he's slightly further down the chimney, and so everyone's busy fapping over the next best thing. And I can potentially see that Verstappen will become stale by 2020 when Lando Norris arrives. And that will be an interesting one as well. But so going back to the point, they'll pull in signs. I don't know about Gasly because they've given him short shrift over the years several times as well. But I can't see anyone else in their programme that's able to step up and in yet.
Because that's the whole point underlying this, isn't it? It's all underpinned by the fact that they just didn't plan it properly. They didn't expect things to go the way they did. They lost the 2 senior drivers a year apart. So, that was also Vettel leaving they weren't expecting. It was a bit of a shocker when it happened.
Yeah.
And that was, a year or so after they'd thrown 4 drivers on the scrap heap.
Yeah. They threw away a bumper crop too soon. And you know that if Alguersuari and Buemi were born 2 or 3 years later, there would be no problems for this whatsoever.
No.
Or Vernal.
And so now now they're having to crawl back to Brendan Hartley, who they threw on the dumpster in 2009, because they had great depth at one point, and now what they have is like a breadth of talent but no depth. So every driver that's currently in their F1 program, Kvyat accepted, is absolutely stellar in my opinion. I rate Gasly very highly. I rate Daniel Ricciardo, in my mind, is probably the best all-rounder on the grid, because to me he's a driver that doesn't seem to have a weakness, but likewise he doesn't have a super strength. He's just consistently good in all regards. So he's the driver. If I was playing Grand Prix World, he's the driver I'd build my team around. He'd be my Pedro Diniz. Likewise, Verstappen, he gets spooged over a little too much, but a large amount of it is warranted. And then, of course, Vettel's still kicking around, and we know that he's got the quality if he doesn't have the temperament. But he's never going to go back. And now they're in a point where every driver they've got is superb, but they just don't have replacements. And, everyone thought Sainz was going to be left to waste. Now it seems that he's not, but I'd be very concerned if I was Pierre Gasly.
Yeah.
Because I think if they lose Danny Rick, they'll have to put Sainz in with Verstappen. It'll be a very hard mix to control, I think.
Yes.
That said, though, I don't think Sainz will be happy being de facto number 2 to Verstappen.
No. And
if he can't get equal driver, it does make me wonder if he'll actually go.
Yeah, because he's quite punchy in the press, is Mr. Sainz, and I don't have too much experience of what Gasly brings in that department and where he wants to go with things. But it's what was I going to say? You've got this kind of thing about where they will go in the future. You've also got the thing of how they're going to see out the year and who's got the seat for 2018 to position that as well. For me, if Hartley does all right this year, keep Hartley in alongside Gasly, because that's a good barometer. I feel like
It takes the
Kvyat's
pressure
over.
off Gasly a bit as well, doesn't it?
I think so, yeah. Because
Because sorry, but I was going to say, Hartley's not a long-term rival.
yeah.
But sorry, please continue.
No, I was going to say it's because for me, the damage is so done with Kvyat that he's beyond Perezable.
Oh yeah, he's toxic at this point.
And
I've been sympathetic to him for quite a long time because
Yeah.
I saw glimmers of class in him when he was at Red Bull.
yeah,
And his first stint at Toro Rosso, I actually thought he was going to come really good, but he just can't handle the psychological pressure.
no, he's an example of when coming in too early is actually a detriment, and just to Formula One in general. I think that's why jumping from GP3 to GP2 might have been a better option for him. But that kind of poison and toxicity that you were saying, immediately the news articles about Kvyat as soon as he arrived in America, Kvyat demands answers as to why he was dropped. Kvyat demands answers to why he's reinstated and what's going on at the end of the year. And you can just see him in the press pin going, "Oh, well, it's all very ridiculous. Oh, man, come on, sob, and doing puppy looks, which basically is why I think he got the 2017 drive, because it was such a PR disaster if he didn't. They've done it now.
But to be fair, do you remember a few weeks ago, didn't they all but announce him for 2018?
Yeah.
Because you and I had a conversation about this very recently where they basically said he was going to be in the car next year. And we said,
Yeah.
well, it doesn't make a lot of sense, but they've got no one else to put there, so I kind of get it.
Yeah.
So they seem to have a pretty sharp change of heart. Now, it's warranted, and I'd get rid of him too, but I can understand his confusion.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's gone from being told that he essentially had the drive to, no, you don't.
They've not employed minutiae, have they?
Although it was the same with Massa.
Yep.
Because Massa was supposed to be a no-brainer for next year, and all of a sudden, well, actually, Felipe. What I find most interesting about all of this Red Bull chicanery, is look at Carlos Sainz in Renault. He's gone in, he's cut his hair. Like, he's there to impress, isn't he?
Yeah. Corporate bananas.
He's had a shave. I saw him and he looked like it's his first day in an office job. He's had a shave, he's had an haircut, he's ironed his shirt.
Yeah.
He's there, fucking beaming. And he's like, look, please, we'll find a way. Just keep me forever. Like, I
just love me.
I think we're going to see the best of Sainz at Renault.
Yeah, because it's not the toxic pressure of... I always felt with Sainz, maybe less this year because Verstappen's gone, but it was already like he was already over the hill before he'd begun, and that's a terrible way to have to kind of go out to consistently prove that you are worthwhile, I guess, out of the bat. I know everyone has to do that, but it was almost like everyone looking in was just like, yeah, you're already second in command. And yeah, I think it will knock a few dollars off of Hulkenberg's rating.
Well, I mean, because it's the logical home for him. And if you think about it, he's been in a situation where Red Bull more need him than want him. Like they've clamped him in. Like, you are staying with us, but you're never going to be a champion because that's for Max.
Yeah.
And you are here in case Daniel Ricciardo gets fed up with our shit.
Yeah.
And then if he does, we're going to put you in that seat and you're going to drive because we've paid for your career up until now. And you're going to be a number 2 and you're going to shut up and you're going to support Max. And now he finds himself in a team that genuinely wants him and has done for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And they've done whatever they could to get their hands on him. So he knows that this is a team that believes in him.
Yeah.
This is a team that says, you're not number 2 here. This is a team that we're prepared to welcome you into as an equal, and long term, we need someone to spearhead the team, and you were the one that we wanted. We wanted Nico Hulkenberg as the experienced hand, and we wanted you as the young gun to build the team around. Um, and I think it's an incredibly mutually beneficial relationship, and I just think Red Bull are going to rain all over that parade.
Yeah. Yeah. Completely agree. I'd love to see, just you talking about that, it makes me. I feel like Red Bull need to do like a Red Bull Tinder driver app where everyone can swipe left and right as to whether they want to drive or want to not drive for that car and vice versa. And I think that would make the world so much easier for them. Yeah, interesting. Who would you have in the cars at Toro Rosso for 2018? I've crashed again. There's clearly a bug with this game. Because I can't not do spectator mode because it forces you to it. Come on. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Bear with me.
He's going